trying to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
Good evening, folks, or rather, good morning, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. We're back on the regular stupid o'clock Last Man Standing schedule where once again it is a late night show. And that's okay. If you missed Stupid O'Clock tonight, you're probably lucky. I would not recommend going and watching it. It's pretty much dad jokes from beginning to end. But if that's your jam, go for it. I would say take it with a pinch of salt, but that would make the jam taste really bad. So don't do that. And before I wind up needing a ladder, I'm going to throw the shovel down and welcome Aunt Donna to the show. So far,
Dad jokes and bad puns.
oh God, yes. And Joe Bachman's in the chat. Don't know if he's going to be staying up any later. The cats might be hurting him to bed. I don't know. I don't know about Thesis. He may show up. I'm not sure. Have had no news whatsoever. But if anybody else pops in, then they pop in. If they don't, Aunt Donna and I will just flirt for a while and then end the show. Um, I'll probably get higher ratings that way. Uh, at least till Lindsay finds out. Uh,
Hey, I got a pass. She said I could flirt with you.
yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not long now.
no. Um, Evidently, I now have about a week and a half to get everything done that I should have gotten done the last year. Uh, but
Yeah.
it's still possible. It's still possible. The worst thing is I've actually got to try and get up early tomorrow and get some work done outside to get stuff out of the way so that I can do other jobs that need to be done, um, both inside and outside. Um, our refrigerator is on its last legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the point to where Lindsay's telling me it's making funny noises.
Uh-oh.
Hey, let's see, we've been married for almost 18 years, so the fridge is probably about 14 to 16 years old. I think we've got our money's worth out of it for, you know, a bargain at one of the big box stores. So I've got to make sure that we can just pull this sucker out and have another one delivered and have them take the old one away. Um, she wanted to do the stove and the fridge at the same time, but the stove is a special case because it's hardwired to the wall. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't plug in. And delivery men are not going to be allowed to do that.
That's going to
I'll
take an
have to do it.
electrician.
No, it'll just take me. I've done it before. This will be the third stove that I put in. Um, if I knew what type of um plug was now code, I could go ahead and buy that and wire it in where we could just have a pigtail put on it and
Mm-hmm.
straight up, which would make it a little easier to replace in the future. But I'm hoping this is the last of either that we'll have to buy. Um, then again, if we outlive another fridge and another stove, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, but are you going to be of an age where you're going to want to be doing that? Wiring in that new stove.
Uh, Well, that's why I'm tempted to go ahead and wire in the plug now while I still can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it's only four wires. It's merely twice as complicated as a lamp. Uh,
Oh, that's all.
yeah, I know. Do you know how many lamps I've rebuilt in my lifetime? I actually had a class on that in junior high school. Um, that was one of well, they also taught us how to read an electric meter so that we could mark the monthly bill and send a little postcard back to the electric company so they know how much to charge the family home for the next month. And we're going, oh, and how many people don't cheat? I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
we're you're talking about a bunch of farmers. How many people don't just kind of shade those little dials back a little bit off of what they actually read? Uh, Not enough to be noticeable, but but now they don't even come out here and read the meter themselves. They just do it from the office.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter. I've got mine averaged. So in the
Yep.
summertime when we use air conditioner and the monthly cost would have gone up, It doesn't. In the wintertime when we have to use a heater and the cost would have gone up, it doesn't. It's just every month they average the previous year, and
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Mhm.
And it pretty much remains fairly stable.
Ours usually does because we're on the same system, but yeah, our budget went up this year.
Mm. Well, it does change when they raise the rates,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, about $75 this year. This year.
mm, I think ours went up. We were averaging about 110, and now it's about 140, 145 or so.
You don't want to know ours.
Your house is, I could probably fit my house in your living room.
Probably.
Uh, I think it's the entire house is something like 1,100 square feet. It can fit in most people's garages out here.
Ironically, when we had the double wide, it was about $300 a month,
Mm,
and it's only with the raise this year, it's only like 400 and some here in this big house. So yeah, the old stucco houses, even though it has no insulation, it's still insulated better than most houses.
yeah. And believe me, I've seen what kind of insulation is in mobile homes, and having had personal experience with manufacture of insulation, I can tell you, it ain't worth the paper it's glued to.
We did when we first moved in though, and that's when the boiler was working for the first floor. Never gave a thought as to what a difference it was going to be. And then we got that first month bill, and it was like $1,000. And after cleaning up his pants, we said, "Yeah, we need to keep an eye on heating."
Uh huh. Well, we have been trying desperately to locate a replacement electric fireplace insert for this
Mhm.
really beautiful fireplace that we bought. Just it's an electric one, plugs in the wall, has the little
Mhm.
lights that imitate live flames and things like that.
Mhm.
And we wore it out.
We have an electric fireplace in the library. It's it's beautiful, and it wasn't one of the expensive ones either. I think we only paid like $300 for it.
Yeah, about the same
Beautiful.
price range. Yeah, nice
Well,
piece of
this isn't,
furniture.
yeah, this isn't one an insert. This was the whole firework. It's and it puts out a pretty nice heat.
Well, I mean, the actual furniture part is fine. It's just the heater part. We can't find a replacement for it.
Mm,
It's like for some reason planned obsolescence is a thing. They want you to throw this beautiful piece of furniture out just because the part of it you actually bought it for don't work. Instead of giving you a replacement, you can
just put in there.
take the old one out, put the new one in, just like changing a light bulb.
Hey, Kiri.
Hey, Kiri. Um,
Well, we don't spend a lot of time on the first floor during the winter. Well, we don't spend a lot of time on the first floor during summer either, but about the only time we go down there is to eat or when we have company. That we got one of those heat transfer things.
yeah,
Those are nice. They cover a lot of space. Unfortunately, it only covers the west side of the first floor because the house is so big. And there's no place to put one on the east side because there's too many windows. There's not
yeah.
enough wall to put it on. And the guy's like, well, we're going to have to put a hole through your wall here to connect it to the outside thing. And I'm like, no problem. And he says, it's not going to look too nice with the hose running across. And I said, I don't care. If I don't like the way it look, I'll throw a blanket or something over it, make it look like a curtain.
I don't know how that would work, but yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. Um,
Haven't done anything with it yet because, like I said, I don't care what it looks like. It heats the house, or at least that side of the house. The dining room and the living room are nice and warm when we need it. And
well,
then we have little electric heaters
yeah,
throughout the house because those things are only good down to so far.
depends on which ones you get. Um, I've got the ones for the milk barns. They're made to go in the barn where the farmer is milking the cows.
Mm-hmm.
They're not expensive. They've got a thermostat on them where when you finally get to the right temperature, you can adjust it to where it keeps it there. That's it. Doesn't flame on and just make the house roasting or leave it freezing. And they use about as much electricity as a hair dryer.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we have.
Yep. And
Oh, Kiri, how come I doubt that?
oh, Carrie being all choked out. Uh, uh, well, because his favorite target is not in the show.
Oh, Joe started telling that story about the guy and his son, and I'm like, you shared that in a humor group. I know the ending.
Hmm. Oh,
And it hurt, Gary. It hurt.
oh, yeah. Uh, yes, you did. And you've got the link if you really want to come in here, but Donna might kick you out.
I wouldn't do that to my sweet Gary.
No, I wouldn't either. Uh, like I said, the more the merrier, usually. Um,
Don't tease me, Gary. Oh,
the young man's in love. Don't make him question his life choices. He's trying to get up the courage to talk to the young lady.
oh, he'll be okay.
I know, but it's not one of those circumstances where I feel I need to say anything because I'm 50 years out of date. So, and here's Thesis.
Hey, Thesis.
Hello.
Okay. He's saving that teasing for another.
Alrighty then.
That's okay, Kiri. You can practice on me.
I am so not touching that line.
Nope. Not saying a thing.
Although
Wouldn't be the first youngin' I
tutored,
mentored.
Still not saying a thing.
Oh man, when I was in college, uh, had another woman named Donna in my Spanish class, and she was a few years older than I. And there was something going at a by where she lived, and she asked me over to come to this little festival, and I did, and we had fun. And then she says, "Well, let's go to my place." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Wasn't ready to end the night, and she introduces me to her. I think he was 15 years old, son. Like, okay, nice to meet you. We went there 15 minutes, and she's like, "Oh, I left something up out there. I need to go back and get it." And off she goes, just out the door, leaving me
with a 15-year-old.
junior. And I look at him and he looks at me and I'm like, "Why do I feel like I've been set up?" And he says, You have, because mom doesn't want me seeing this other girl. And I'm like 19 at the time. And I'm going, "You're 16, even for a woman is 15 to 20. Yeah,
Uh,
no, not even with mama's consent."
that's not going to hold up in court.
No.
You'd have to get her signature.
Even then, probably not.
Yeah, really?
Then both Donnas would be in trouble.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh crap, come home soon." Because I had not driven there. I had ridden there in her car. She was going to drive me back to where my car was, so I was stranded.
Oh no.
No, 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 no. So we made popcorn, watched the movie.
Watched the movie.
Yeah, yeah, a family movie. Because I wanted something safe on that TV when she came in.
I wasn't going to question, but the thought of something else had not crossed my mind.
Oh, great. It sounds like Kiri's found the right gal for him.
Already exchanging a bunch of dad jokes. Okay. And Leslie's talking about Joe Dog, so
That too.
Oh, I felt so sorry for Joe Dog, but I couldn't help laughing.
it all. He had an endless series of leg cramps tonight.
Middle leg cramps.
And I'm just sitting there. When it happened the first time, I knew exactly what was going on because I had been the victim of leg cramps before. So,
Ooh, that inner thigh leg cramp.
Lord. What gets me is calf muscle leg cramps. I mean, that feels like your tendons are trying to rip loose from your feet.
Those I can usually walk out.
Yeah.
But that inner thigh one, that's hard because it's pulling you down to bend over, and the more you bend over, the more you cramp up. So you're trying to stand up, and that hurts like hell. You know what's good for that though? Salon plus patches.
Yes. Salon Pass are a godsend.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not going through very many of those at all. I've got an unopened box of 60 here right now.
How'd
Um,
you do? Oh yeah, that would be okay.
yeah. Um, it's three of the foil packets of 20.
Mhm.
So, and
Yeah.
I've got another foil packet I haven't even used half of yet. I think the last time I actually had to use one was about 3 weeks ago, maybe four.
Nice.
So, hey, they will be coming to Hallowcon just in case.
Oh, I'm
Cause
bringing my Lidocaine patches
yeah,
just in case.
you
Besides my
know,
Salampus and my CBD balm. Yeah, this is old people thesis. This is what we talk about.
uh, yeah, Lindsay's waiting on the chiropractor to call her back. She's hoping that she'll get some kind of pain relief for her shoulder, some um, physical therapy,
Mhm.
whatnot. Because she does not want to have any surgery. She's saving
Mhm.
up. She's saving up for her cataract surgery. She's going to have,
Mhm.
and thankfully, I'm about 5 years away from having to have the cataract surgery myself. So, uh, last time I went and got a new prescription, the doctor said, "You got just the bare beginnings of cataracts. So you got a long time before you got to worry about it. But if you notice your vision getting a little cloudy, that's what it is. Don't worry." And I'm going,
Well, our friend Mike.
yeah,
Yeah, he because of financial problems and not being able to get on disability, he totally went blind from his cataracts until finally got on disability, got them taken care of. He doesn't even wear his glasses now.
mm, yeah. Friend of ours from Australia, he had cataract surgery first in one eye and then a few months later in the other. Didn't do a thing. He
Hmm.
still is blind as a bat.
Well, they don't always turn out the same. We had a friend who parents talked her into getting that eye surgery that's supposed to,
Oh yeah, the LASIK.
yeah, and you won't have to wear your glasses. Not only didn't work, now she's night blind.
Mm,
And
yeah,
you can't go back on them because you sign a paper.
yeah.
So,
It's not like they can put it back the way it was. They've reshaped your eyeballs.
hmm.
So as much as I would like to be able to buy normal sunglasses that are stylish and fashionable, nah, I'm just going to keep on getting the clip-ons for these things. And believe me, uh, that'll be fine.
I mine are magnetic and they snap on here so that there's no way they can fall off.
Mm,
Cost me a little more, but it's worth it for someone who's as clumsy as I am. But yeah, I was wearing contacts when Carl and I met, and I miss all the fancy sunglasses. I had probably 2 dozen pair of different sunglasses to wear, heart shaped and aviator, and just all different kinds, different colors. And I miss them kind of. Not enough to get contacts again, but
no, no. Back when the plague hit, I actually looked into one of those full face masks, but have the whole thing tinted
Mhm.
to it. They had a gold and blue and a green and whatever, and I'm going, damn, that looks like a GI Joe cartoon character. Kind of like that.
I hadn't
Never,
seen those. Would have gotten one of those.
yeah. Evidently, um, they they were actually vented so that they wouldn't fog up.
Mhm.
And I'm going, yeah, vented with no filters.
Mm.
That's going to work
Yeah.
against an airborne virus. That's going to work. Um, That'd be about like my full face motorcycle helmet, where I had to take a piece of a plastic pressure curtain from work and cut it down and fit it underneath the chin piece of the helmet so that it would almost reach my chest and keep my face from freezing during the winter that the only vehicle I had to go back and forth to work on was a motorcycle.
Oh,
Uh, it looked a little weird,
Hmm.
but
whatever works. Yeah.
hey,
Oh,
it kept me warm.
the I bought a motorcycle back when I was single, and I cut my hair off so that I wouldn't get wind blown. And when I got my helmet, I got the sun visor because I had my contacts then, so I didn't have to worry about wearing sunglasses underneath it. Went up to show my best friend at the time my new motorcycle. Bright and sunny in Danville, halfway to Rankin, it poured.
Hmm.
And I'm driving into town, and her and her husband had a garage at the time, and fortunately he had the back door open, and I pulled it in, and she'd seen me coming, or she had seen a motorcycle coming and pulled in, and she comes back and she goes, "Did you get wet?" And I took off my helmet, and she saw it was me, and she's like, "Oh shit, you're gonna kill me, aren't you?" I'm like, huh.
In my own time, you'll have to wait for it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
going home was no fun either because although it had warmed up and was nice, every time I went by a ditch that was full of water, you could feel that cold coming off.
Hmm.
I had to, we didn't wear the same size clothes. I had to wear the damp clothes that I was still wearing, and that was freaking cold.
Yep. I was lucky enough to find a catalog company that had an Army surplus motorcycle messenger canvas raincoat.
Well, I didn't think I was going to need one, did I? It was
After
bright and sunny in Danville.
after I went through the first cold snap and rainstorm, two separate events that I experienced on the motorcycle, I started investing in saddlebags and extreme weather gear. As- uh, I mean, seriously, uh, if you're riding in a rainstorm, people think raindrops are soft and gentle.
Oh, no.
Not if you're moving, they're not.
At 60 miles an hour, they hit like hammers.
Yeah.
Now, I had cold weather gear because of the factory. That's no problem. But rain gear, that was something I had to find out for myself was actually necessary.
Hmm.
And this rain this raincoat actually had the uh, leg straps. So when you stopped at a stoplight, you didn't lose the raincoat off to the side. It stayed on you. Um,
Oh, that was another problem. Fortunately, it started only about 4 or 5 miles away from where I was going, but it rained so hard that I had to slow down.
mhm. And unfortunately, nobody makes motorcycle helmet face shields with windshield wipers.
That was yeah.
That's one of those things. You be going down the road and you go, I can't see. Oh, now I can't see again. It don't take long for
Yeah.
it don't take long for a helmet to get rained over. Um, and that trick with the Rain-X coating it so that the drops just fly off don't work for very long. It it works for a little while, but it ain't forever.
Oh. And
I
then I met Carl, and he was not happy that I had a motorcycle. And
wanted to keep you around for some strange reason, didn't he?
he had to go up to visit this hospital in Chicago, and he says, "Why don't you come along?" And I said, "Okay, free trip to Chicago, I'll go." So we go in there, and he meets with the people he's supposed to meet, and they take us on a tour, and he keeps going, "See that person with a halo? Motorcycle accident. See that person with a halo? Motorcycle accident." See, and I'm like, I get the message, leave me. And he thinks that's why I I eventually sold it, but the fact was I needed the money.
Mm.
But I bought it for $1,000. I rode it for a year, and I sold it for $1,000.
Oh. Well, at least you didn't lose any money.
Nope.
Uh, hey, Mac.
Hey, Mac.
Yes, looking forward to it. Yeah, a couple of weeks. So much to do, no place to hide.
Don't forget to drop your like and share.
Takoa's Echoes went live today on Amazon. Oh, okay, yeah. Good. Wish you the best. Have you been through Takoa? That's up there near Tallulah Gorge. Well, at least it's on the way. Uh, near is a relative term to somebody that thinks in 500 miles is a weekend trip. You know?
Yeah.
I still find it hard to believe that I used to go primitive camping in Tallulah Gorge before it became a state park and camping was forbidden there.
You can't camp in your state park?
Not that one.
Nah.
When it was private property, the owner didn't care. And it's like nobody knew who the owner was, so you couldn't sue them if you got hurt. It was your own lookout. But once it became a state park, it's all regulated, and they don't want to do any park-like improvements other than install walkways halfway up a freaking cliff so that people can walk out on a wooden platform loosely attached to boulders that regularly fall off the wall.
Yeah,
And
no
I'm
thanks.
going, it, it was much safer to be at the bottom and camp out than it would be to walk along one of them little spider webs you've attached. Um, yeah, thank you, Matt. Yes, it is. Terrible dam break and flood, Toccoa Falls in 77. Actually, I remember reading about that in the newspaper. I wasn't there at the time. I think it would have been in the 80s that I was doing my camping trips there with friends of mine.
You say 77, you're still in college, aren't you?
Yeah, that was the year. Yeah, that was my last year of college. 77 till like January of 78, something like that. I might have had one quarter of college left in 78, but um, ran out of money after what was basically 2.5 years of college and went and got a job at the local factory so that I could pay for college. I was only going to stay out there long enough to make enough money to go back and spend and get my degree. Well, 46 years later, I still hadn't made enough money to go back to college.
They kept raising the prices.
Well, that and the fact that I kept meeting women, and that's an expensive hobby right there.
Hmm.
And buying cars and houses and trailers and um, motorcycles and things. How many motorcycles did I wind up buying so far in my lifetime? I think about 5. I was impressed with the engineering on a Suzuki. They made those uh, in the 80s. They made them, they were designed to be worked on by the owner. Uh, Very easy to maintain. Um,
Mine was a Honda Rebel lowrider, also very easy to maintain.
uh, Used to work at UPS and spent 10 years working 45 to 50 hours a week. Yeah, as a part time supervisor. Well, uh, that was probably a nice weekly take home after taxes. Um, 50 hours didn't leave you too much time to spend any of that money. If it's anything like the factory I was at, you're working so much you don't have time to go shopping.
I don't know if he's like the rest of it, probably found a way to spend it.
Yeah. Um, Nowadays, Amazon makes it easy to spend money. You just 120 hours in a week. Oh, salary.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't get any overtime pay for that either, did
hmm
you?
that's when they get you.
That's why I'm glad I never went into management in any way, shape, or form. If I worked over 40 hours a week, they had to pay me overtime. And I have worked, I think, 84 hours a week, maybe more. When I was trying to earn enough money to put the down payment on the house, I worked from January damn near till July, and I think I had 11 days off in half a year. And that's just because there was no overtime for me to get. on those days. So I came up with $10,000 in a hurry. And then I was able to pay payments on the mobile home that I was trying to move out of and pay payments on the house I bought after I'd paid the deposit or the down payment on the mortgage, and have the electricity on in both places, have the water on in both places, and um, there were several other expenses. I cannot remember what everything was back then. But, moved out of the trailer park, sold the trailer to a Hispanic family um, who paid in cash. And that cash went directly into the mortgage down payment fund. It didn't get wasted on anything. Good night, Mac.
Night, Mac.
And here's Richie.
Hey, Rich.
Hey,
Hard day, Rich.
My body is being an asshole. Getting back into the normal swing of things after having to go downtown for work most of the week. So
Curie has a special message for you, Rich.
now, obviously, he misses a Discord sound effect bar.
and actually that was going through my mind when I popped in too. So
You knew somebody was going to bring it up. I mean,
what I'm thinking of doing is those little programmable buttons where you can smack it and it'll say whatever the hell you want it to say and stuff like that. I'm really tempted to get one and program it to go beep beep Richie, so that when I come in, if my mock is hot, if my mock is height, speak one day, learn I will. Not like living for, which I do. Anyways, and just slap that sucker so that it just plays over my mic as my own intro music when I don't have a sound bar.
Preemptive strike, so to speak.
Yep.
Working on your story thesis.
Got to get that
Thank you.
turned in so that it can be, on time and everything.
I appreciate it. I will edit it gently.
Hopefully, it won't need too much.
Well, it never has before. That's the fun part.
He'll edit it gently. He'll just use the tip of the red pen.
Well, you have to use the whole thing, then that just means I did a lot worse than I thought I did.
Never mind. I was green rooming.
You should see the word processor after I'm looking at one of my own damn manuscripts that I went straight through without doing any editing on the fly. I'm just going, I have never seen so much blue in all my life.
So I got a couple of the best compliments a writer could get from my beta reader. Um, she enjoyed my Irish accent for my little leprechaun. She said it was very readable. Cool, because I worked really hard. Because Irish and Scottish can be not understood by English speakers. So I needed to find a nice balance, and I guess I did that. And then she says, "Well, I'm one of those people who can usually tell which way a story's going." And I'm like, "Oh crap, okay." And she says, "No, you surprised me 4 times, especially with the twist ending." And I'm like, "Yes."
Nice.
So I'm pretty proud of that. It's gonna be out next month. No, not in time for Hallowcon.
So it's using
Sorry.
Hallowcon is this month.
Yep.
But I was actually working on some of the inside matter and stuff like that today. So
Nice to hear.
so I was having B.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to green room myself. Thankfully, I didn't say what crossed my mind.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Richie, so I don't have to get on you and Keisha you some more. I mean, that's all that's standing between you and getting that book out.
Inertia
There-
is a thing.
And I don't pressure him too much, I don't think. I just try to make it maybe once a month, maybe 3 times a month. Have you got that done yet?
Yeah, that's pretty much my problem. An object at rest cannot be stopped. Yes, I was a fan of the Tick cartoon.
Who wasn't?
Hey,
evil-
a letter. Somebody loves Deflator Mouse.
The evil midnight bomber that bombs at midnight.
I just wish that they worked. Oh God, what was the Superman knockoff? That they had in the comic. I just wish they would have worked him in, and the whole, I'm from the planet Outer Creek, or Outer Creek, and the only thing that can weaken me is portions of my home planet, green Outer Creekite. And then he was doing something stupid, and the Tick's like, I got some green Outer Creekite right here. And he's like, my powers, I feel them weakening. He's like, no kidding, it was just an eraser I found on the desk.
Well, I don't know what happened to Thesis, but hopefully he'll be back. We have had some solar storms here lately, and everybody's internet's been screwed up for a while. But
Not mine.
Foxy and Kiri's internet has been kind of hit or miss here for a while.
Yeah.
And I keep blaming sunspots and coronal mass ejections, but we have photographic evidence that there have been lots and lots of northern lights in latitudes that they are not usually observed at because the CMEs have thrown so many charged particles at us and actually hit us this time.
Okay, Dan, have you got your little thing ready? Because I'm going to say massive ejections.
When you were talking about sunspots, screwing things up, I'm just imagining just these large dogs made of fire just peeing on internet providers.
Yeah.
That's a good image right there. I may have to borrow that.
No, bad spot. You know,
Uh,
and you didn't even watch Stupid O'Clock.
oh Lord, what happened in Stupid O'Clock? Or do I want to know?
um, Joe Dog and Kiri got in a dad joke contest,
Oh
basically.
no.
And a pun contest.
Uh-huh. And John played MapQuest looking for nuclear missile silos. I'm going, don't you have a security rating you need to worry about? I know you're retired, but
It's a good thing I wasn't on then, because otherwise that it would have been just exponentially worse as far as the puns go. Um, um, Puns are by some people considered the lowest form of humor, and that is a limbo contest I am willing to enter. May not be able to do a physical one, but one where I get to be a dumbass. Sign me up. I don't even have to train for that. I'm just naturally good at being a dumbass.
I've been training all my life. I might not be able to bench press a Volkswagen, but I can say some dumbass shit.
I might not be able to bench press a Volkswagen, but I can get a nun one to strangle me in half a minute. And not the leather-clad kind that you've got to pay by the hour.
Okay, somebody explain to me how my brain works. I went from there to I saw one of those brand new electric Volkswagen vans the other day, and I'm going.
The word Volkswagen.
There's
then
got to be connections in there somewhere, but I can't figure it out.
No, there doesn't.
if you're thinking about that kind of activity, vans are actually one of the better vehicles to do that in.
Oh,
Yes.
but it was pretty. It was lime green and orange, but not in a bad way.
Hello, 60s.
Exactly.
So when I go to get my eye stabbed once a month, which the next time I have to have that done is actually on Halloween. Yay! But one of the things they do is they had me look in this thing and they scan my eye, and it's almost a asterisk type thing, that pattern that I've got to stare at.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really bright green. And then, they do the one eye, then they do the other eye. And then for like the next 20 minutes or so, if I'm looking at a white surface, all I see is a large purple asterisk in front of each eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the weird properties that, purple is the currently the negative color aspect of green.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Color theory class, college pays off. I had one at an eye exam. They flashed up a musical staff with notes scattered around it, and the optometrist said, can you see the note in the middle?" I said, "Yeah, it's a B natural." And he goes, "What?" That was not the example he was. Evidently, he'd never had anybody that could actually read sheet music take that particular class before. Or,
I've
yeah.
never been natural in my life. That would not work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Wrong guy. Never mind.
Well, it didn't have any flats or sharps, so it had to be a natural. Um, Sorry, I went a little bit too esoteric. People that don't read sheet music are not going to get that, but
But the
I
thing
get it.
is it's A's that are flat, not. Oh, wait. Never mind. I'll behave now.
No, you won't.
No, I
that'll
won't.
that'll be the day.
Well, technically, I will behave, just not behave well. It's still behavior.
True.
I'd still rather be good than to behave.
I just tend to be. Well, I mean, not to be is out of my hands. So obviously, I are, so I need to be. Um,
To be or not to be? Like, what was the question?
Thank you, Tina. Oh,
Yeah, no, my brain's not a playground of old movie quotes.
whose isn't?
Movie quotes, song lyrics, commercial jingles.
Uh-huh.
People who fall into that category, sane.
What's
Um,
saying?
Or at least
Forgiven
that's what they claim. I don't believe them.
Yeah, no.
for a given value of sanity.
Here's baby boo. How's the baby? How's the baby boy?
Yes. So where was my brain going that I needed to open up?
You asking us?
Secondary. But no, I'm trying to step back through what was going on, and apparently that was when my brain was tumbling downstairs. So
Oh, a reverse logic chain.
help me, Lord Jesus! My shoe.
You come up here.
I was a bad parent right there because I let that thought wander off all alone, and
It
now I need
got
to put out
lost.
an amber. I need to put out an Amber Alert for it. The hell was I trying to look up? My wife's skirt, but that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I got to say is, not my job, Richie. You better lift it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said.
I just have to put a gentle ramp so that she can get high enough that I can actually get my head that low that I can actually look under it. Because remember, she's so short she can't even climb over a rice crane. She's got to go around. And the fact that I'm not hearing a "hey" shout out from the other room shows that she's gone to bed.
And that she doesn't watch the show.
Nope.
No, her office is right across the hall from mine. So she was playing World of Warcraft when I came in here to hop on the show.
Yes.
I don't even know what site I was waiting to for something. Was it?
Uncle Richie's having problems.
Oh,
This is my normal state of thought.
I waited all day for the mail to arrive because I was expecting a delivery from Etsy, and finally 8 o'clock dropped off by the post office, and I'm going, you know, cutbacks are a horrible thing. And I went to the mailbox, picked up the package, brought it back in, looked at the label. It was for my wife.
Of course.
I waited all day for something that wasn't mine. Evidently, mine has not been shipped yet, but then it is something that is being handmade, so
there you
might not be ready yet. And it's being handmade out of steel. It's not something exciting, Thesis. It's camping cooking gear. But this guy
I
that
know a lot of people that can turn stuff like that into something exciting.
There you go.
Not these.
And
These are 2-pronged forks. You don't want those turned into anything exciting.
I definitely know people that would turn that into something exciting, and greener exciting at that. Not something I would find exciting.
Do you really need to out me like that, Rich?
Actually, no. I was talking about people I knew from high school.
Yeah, Donna, he hasn't known you that long.
Hell, Nick could probably find a way to turn that into greener exciting.
Probably.
Probably just spear a fan blade as it went on overhead.
Or a chair.
Oh, well, they probably could be used as weapons. One of them's a good 14-inch long, 2-pronged steel fork that, it's got a lovely twisted handle on it and a hand-forged, well, the whole thing's hand-forged. The guy makes it himself. And it's got a clip on the end of it. I've seen the videos of him actually making the stuff, bending the clip over, putting a little lip on it so that you could use it to pick up a cook pot off a campfire. Hey, tremendously useful piece of equipment.
What do you need something like that for, Farm Boy? We used to use a pitchfork for that.
Cooking.
We used to use a pitchfork for that.
Yeah, but I know where my pitchfork's been. I'm not using that in my food.
You're going to tell me you can't think of ways to use those as weapons? Come on. That's easy right there.
I know.
Say hi, everybody.
You want to give somebody 2 extra belly buttons, 14 inches? Just lunge.
Yeah, a lot of lunging involved.
Mm-hmm. Maybe some batteries.
Hadn't thought of that.
Clear.
Well, I did get the eating utensil as well as the cooking utensil. So yeah, one wire on each.
There you go.
But yeah, it's turning those into a cattle prod wouldn't be hard.
Nope.
Don't tase me, bro.
Please not again.
Or if you're into that kind of a thing, a pork prod.
Oh, oh,
That's a different
thesis,
kind of thing.
thesis. You and Richie missed Joe Dog's admission to accidentally tear gassing himself.
I had
With
no
bodily emissions or with something else?
With something else?
With a double strength uh, ghost
Ghost
pepper
pepper spray.
spray.
Oh no, no!
You know his dog ate the wires
One of the
on
little huskies, yeah, ate the wires from the lights
his
on
trailer.
Grillzilla. So he rewired that today, and in order to keep the dog from chewing the wires up again, he crawls up underneath it with a spray bottle full of ghost pepper, diluted ghost pepper sauce, and he's spraying the wires with it so that if the dog tries to bite it, the dog will decide it's not a good thing to bite. And the
And this
wind
is Joe
shifted.
Dog, so he's definitely too cheap for PPE.
The wind shifted, and he got a face full of
That's I was gonna say the
ghost
wind, right?
pepper mist.
Well, if he's up under something, that's not the best way or best place to be when you're trying to spray something that you're using as a chemical deterrent.
Hey,
It's got to
We're
fall
talking
somewhere.
about we're talking about Joe Dog here.
even John Scarborough, our resident military veteran, winced at this, at the mere build up to the punchline. He's going, oh, I know how this is going to end.
But would Joe Dog actually have to crawl, or would he just be able to just walk straight under?
I'm not saying.
We didn't ask, but we suspect.
Oh, I know what I was going to look up now. Ha ha!
There you go. See,
To hell with you, brain. I finally figured it out. Now let's see if the thought stays here long enough for me to actually be able to type it into a browser.
hurry! Everyone, just start
Yay!
shouting random numbers.
And the set of dice that my grandson chose in store was $50.
Okay.
$12.77 on Amazon.
Ah,
There you go.
But hey, the look on his face, you know, he was tickled pink. So he decided on a light up set of dice, so that LED, they look like just little black hunks. As they roll, it kicks off, and you might not be able to roll those in front of Misty. Or at least Misty can't look at his dice when he rolls.
um,
The flashing sequence might be a little too fast for her.
that
Oh,
was
okay.
that was what I was thinking.
But hey, he's happy. I guess the second I dropped him off and he got inside, he was plugging those dice in to get them to charge so he could start rolling them.
My brain is trying to wrap my head around dice with the USB charge port.
They've got the where I have no idea where the hell my headphones are. They've got like the two little metal pieces to rest in a charging case.
Oh, okay.
And then you plug you plug the case in, so it's almost the exact technology of most wireless earphones today from like Raycon and all that stuff,
Yeah,
where
it's
you just set them in the case, they get their capacitive charge off that.
inductive charger or something. I forget exactly what it's called.
Yeah. Usually, I think they call it magnetic induction or something like that. Either that or actually, I take that back. It's probably because I didn't get a chance to look at them, but it is probably exactly that. That it's just the case itself has a bunch of little pads like smaller versions of this, because that's the magnetic induction thing for my phone. So it'll be interesting to see how they play. And then while I was there, they've got a bowl of mismatched stuff that is 7 dice for $6. So I picked up just almost a complete set. They didn't have any 20s, so I have an extra 4 because I play a lot of rogues and mages. So D4s actually are more useful for me than almost anything else.
Yes, you can use them for emergency caltrops.
Yes, I've had that happen more times than I want to admit to myself. Because growing up, I was the only person in the house that had D4s. In fact, I think I was.
Thought Legos hurt
my dad's like, "What the hell
on.
is that?" Me stepping on Legos as a child was my own damn fault, and me stepping on D4s as a child was my own damn fault.
Well, you didn't expect anybody else to take the blame.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was no one else in the house that was into Lego or D&D, so.
Well, given the description you have publicly stated about your sisters, I would expect them to buy an entire set of D4s just to toss down the hallway in the middle of the night, waiting for you to have to go.
No, they had something much easier. They had jacks.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it.
That'll do it too.
Actual cultures.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, my sister got yelled at several times for not cleaning up after herself when she was playing with jacks. I think that's why Dad decided to keep wearing the work boots. If he stepped on a jack, it was going to be non-rollable after that. Might as well put it in a damn steel press. Gonna be folded up like a staple.
Never had jacks as a child.
I did.
That would be so fun.
Well, it takes some coordination.
Do they still make those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of is, a way a magician could cheat playing jacks. And it was 2 of my favorite tricks to peddle when I worked for the magic store. They were called the Bat and the Raven. They were 2 separate products. One was called the Bat, the other was called the Raven.
Suddenly, I'm imagining a bouncy ball that if you hit it in the right spot, it's like flash powder. While the audience is blind, you put something else besides the jacks there. My brain goes into weird directions. Some of them defy physics.
Using either the Bat or the Raven, if you were doing that kind of a thing, that would take care of removing it, so you could actually just palm something to go ahead and just drop something into place while as long as it's non-ferrous. Because if it's ferrous, when you try to drop it, it would just stick to the Bat and the Raven. they're basically just magnets. One was something that you would actually pin up your sleeve, and then you would have rigged, and so you do whatever as you're bringing your hand over. The magnet of, I want to say that one was the Raven. That would go ahead and grab whatever is fairest and then shoot it further up your sleeve so that you could actually push your sleeves up and go, nothing up my sleeve afterwards. And then the other was the same kind of a thing, except it was just like a metal washer, and then the magnet, and then they were basically encased in a piece of felt so that it could fold over, and then you could have that stuck to a wristband or something like that, so that it's not as obvious because it's about the width of your wristband to begin with, and then you can do whatever. And again, it's picking up your whatever you're trying to pull up while you're dropping or whatever you're trying to do as far as that goes. And then both of those are good if they're not, so that they're all the way up in your sleeve to mess with people and act like you're using some type of telekinetic power if you're moving any kind of ferrous silverware around a table, because your other hand can be underneath using that to go ahead and pull the and they were strong enough that they could get through like 1.5 inches of wood. That didn't come out right. Anyways,
That's what she said.
But yeah, so I mean, it was a really great, fun product. Yeah, the Raven was the one that was on the piece of elastic band that would shoot up your. This is from 2011. So, do they still exist? Beetlejuice cards? Really? Deadpool? I need to get away from this this website. I'm going to start buying stuff I don't need. But I want this there pretty.
You don't need it, but do you want it?
Ooh.
The answer is yes, especially if I want to mess with certain individuals who have been known to throw public temper tantrums.
Oh, yeah.
Won't be around. Richmond dude used to be in.
Just because they're not going to be around this time doesn't mean I'm not ever going to run into them.
True. Whitsman dude used to be an amateur magician.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear.
Whitsman dude used to be an amateur magician.
Oh, he and I can play.
He's not as good since his arthritis took over, but I'm sure he'd play with you. Oh, wait a minute, that didn't come out right.
I used to have a few tricks. I actually did a magic show for one of my talent shows, I think in 9th grade, something like that.
Last time he gave a performance, it was for his brother's stepdaughter's birthday.
Okay.
There's always that one freaking kid in the group going, "Oh, you're doing this," or "That ain't real because this happened."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Until he looked at her and said, "Would you like me to make you disappear?" In that sonorous voice that he sometimes has, and she shut up real fast.
I wonder why. Can't imagine.
My signature trick is designed for kids like that and adults like that. The ones that love to see you screw up and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, we'll play. And then by the end of it, they're just like, what the? How? Because I just keep bringing their card up, just randomly rifling through a deck and going, that's your card. You know, going to the top of the deck, that's your card. Another random throughout the deck somewhere, that's your card. And they're just like, how are you doing that? I'm like, thought you knew how the trick worked.
You tell me.
And actually, I designed that trick so that it looks like I screwed the trick up. Because what I'll do is I'll have them randomly choose a card. But then they can put it back in, and then I give it to them for them to shuffle, do everything that they want with to get that card mixed in however and wherever they want. I take it back. I do a couple more shuffles myself. Then I'll skim through and I'll pull out 2 cards that have a relationship to that card. Like, for instance, if the original card was the Queen of Hearts, I'll grab the Ace of Hearts and I'll grab the Queen of Spades. And it'll be like, your card has something to do with these 2 cards. And they'll be like, yep. And then I will go ahead and throw down, in that case, it would be the Ace of Spades, being like, your card was the Ace of Spades. They're like, nope. I'm like, all right, no, don't tell me. You know, sometimes I screw it up. It's been a while since I've done the trick. Gather everything back up, and then go like I'm trying to do the trick again. And, you know, as they're doing the selection, you know, I'm buzzing through the deck and telling them to stop where they want me to stop. And then I've got the cards, you know, each part in one hand, and, you know, they choose the top of what's there. And then as they're reaching for the card, I'll be like, your original card, the Queen of Hearts, by the way. And then they'll pull it out, and it's the Queen of Hearts. And then every card that they pull out, and it's not a rigged deck. It's an actual, normal, regular deck. It's not a Svengali deck that, you know, every other card is cut just a little bit shorter so that you've got 12 copies of, actually, it'd be 26 copies, 26 copies of whatever, you know, scattered throughout the deck or anything like that. Or, crap, I forgot what they used to call the other one. It's basically a tapered deck. Or is that all they called it? Was it just a taper? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not using any decks like that. I'm brand new bicycle deck straight off the shelf, you know. And then I have just an entire suite of self-working card tricks that it's mathematics on how everything ends up. So even if you do have arthritis, you're not doing fancy shuffles or fancy manipulation with the deck or anything like that. It's just, you know, knowing the mathematics and understanding the pattern of the way that the card trick works. I love those because any deck, anywhere you go, you're good to go. And people are just infuriated with how simple something is.
Yep.
When we play euchre, I never cut a deck. I don't believe in cutting a deck. But when Carl deals, because of his magician background, I always tell the person to his right, you know, he's a magician and does card tricks, right? Cut, you know, not that cutting the deck is going to help if he did try to do something like that, but I always like to see the look on their face.
Depending on how you cut. If you do just a regular cut, it's fine. If you do a long cut, you can really screw someone over. but also cut long, cut wrong. Excuse me. Didn't mean to have a Peter Brady with there more there. When it's time to change.
Well, my grandpappy always said a cut dog don't have no pups, so. But they'll do a regular cut, and I'm like, and I'll say, "You think that's gonna work?" And they'll look at me, and they'll do a cut again, and sitting there going, "She's screwing with you." And somebody is. I can't help it. Some people are just such nice toys to play with, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are like Slinkies. They're mostly useless, but they make the most delightful sounds as you push them downstairs.
Yeah.
Ah, mushy! Thank you, Eddie Murphy, for being able to steal that joke so many times. Oh, no, Misty is still up. I just across the hall. I see her computer's up. I'm impressed. Usually she is very tired and very in bed by now.
So how you liking the latest expansion?
I've been spending more time in Fallout with Joe Bachman. Not bad. It's interesting a little bit that I've actually gone in and delved in. I like the fact that I don't have to go all the way back to Stormwind to do my trading post stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I started the green room myself, but then I decided I'd put it in the private chat instead.
Now, where's the fun in that?
But isn't the green room where you're supposed to be mentioning the privates?
True.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Bless you, dear.
Actually, I was thinking about you horrifically early yesterday morning, Donna. Because I think it's you that has a thing for, well, you and 18 million other women. My mother was among them. Thing for Sam Elliott. I guess he is going to be out here in LaPorte for a couple of showings of Prancer around Christmas.
That's nice.
Because apparently it was filmed around here.
I don't like him enough to go north in wintertime, sorry. I don't go north in wintertime for Carl, much less anybody else. We once went to a little town about hour and a half from here north, and Mungie was there, and Carl's like, "It'll be okay. It's too early for anything to happen."
That was not a smart thing to say.
Famous last words.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course,
Yes.
when it started spitting snow, I had to do it. I had to do it. Let's go. Let's go up north in the wintertime. It'll be fun, they said. There won't be any snow, they said. Let's go. He did the same thing to me going to
I'm seeing Carl as the Bill Murray character from Groundhog's Day. What are you talking about? It's just a few flakes.
Oh shit! That place in Indiana that's like the island. Let's go down to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, guys. Come on. Go to
Aruba?
Kokomo, Indiana.
Get there fast and we'll take it slow.
It's April. We'll be okay. We got caught in a frickin' blizzard on 74 and had to pull over until they opened the 74 again. Go north of Indianapolis, and about 5 miles north of Indianapolis, nothing. Colder than shit. My friend Bethany and I stayed in her truck with her heat your ass seats while the others were out in the park freezing their butts off catching munsies, and we're like, not us. Yeah, he's never going to live that one down either. Rochelle, that's where we were going in Illinois. Rochelle, Illinois. Yeah, let's go to Rochelle. It'll be fun.
So, funny thing about Kokomo. During COVID, when things were getting ready to start opening back up some, we had a application at the firm. Its original name was Kokomo, and its purpose was basically you scan your vaccination card or whatever. We weren't saying, if you weren't vaccinated, you're fired. We were saying if you aren't vaccinated, we don't have your information in this application, that the firm will turn you away at the door and tell you to work from home. Mm-hmm. Because, we had a large number of individuals that, still to this day had passed the bar before my birth. A lot of other individuals with comorbidities and stuff like that. And we're like, you know what? We're not going to let you get another person sick just because you don't believe in the vaccination. Mm-hmm. We're not saying GTFO. We're just saying, just don't come the hell in. They mentioned that, and I didn't realize that my mic was hot. So I started singing it. And then I realized, oh crap, I did not mute myself after my last smartest comment.
It happens.
But at least the director that was speaking at that point in time knew me well. He was my former manager. So he's just like, it's Rich, whatever. And the CIO's like, it's Rich, whatever. Because he was out of our office, the Chicago office as well. So most people realize that there's probably going to be a smart-ass comment made. It's probably going to be coming from me, Peter Flanagan, our messaging administrator, or what's his name? Josh. His last name is eluding me right now, out of New York, who is another IT manager. Well, he is an IT manager. Of the three of us, he's the only one who is a manager. But the rest of us have been around forever, so most people are realize, okay, there's going to be a smart-ass comment. It's going to be one of these three.
Isn't it good to be reliable?
That depends. If you're too reliable and you're the only person that people can call on when they need something. They'll call you at all hours of the damn night and ask for stupid shit.
That's why I have that little program to where only certain people can call me after 9 p.m. and before 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I got a nice feeling from during OSHA training when the trainer who had been there for several years, he had to come in. He didn't work in the particular factory. He just traveled around to do OSHA training. And he finally got to the point where he'd go, now, here's a question. Somebody answered that besides Dan. It wasn't because I was making smart-ass comments. It's just because he wanted to get everybody else involved. And the only reason I was answering the questions was because he'd stand there and wait on somebody to answer the question. And most of the rest of them were either asleep or playing on their cell phone or whatever, not paying any attention. And having had sat through these things for decades at this point, I knew them just about as well as he did. So once he figured that out, he'd make everybody else participate whether they wanted to or not. And I sat back and go, good, I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. y'all want to speak up so this ends quickly or more quickly, because he's just going to wait on you.
I was almost failed during a first aid training session. Because they asked a question and they were looking for not the right answer, but the answer that they knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I gave the answer, and they're like, that's not right. I'm like, it is right. Look it up. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, it is. I just got my EMT cert. This is the right. They're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. Why are you in a first aid class? Because they know that I'm trained as an EMT, so they want me to have my little card from you. But, oh. So.
Yeah.
But apparently it was something that changed in the curriculum since the last time that they were certified as an instructor. So they knew it as you do it XYZ, when it was really now, instead of that, it was ABC. It was just 2 steps off. So it's like, oh, you were almost right there. I'm like, no, I'm right. I can call a couple of EMTs in right now and tell you I'm right.
Good morning, Mike Jimmy.
Good morning, Mike Jimmy.
Good morning.
Hope you got your coffee.
I got my coffee. I slept a lot better than the last week. Meaning I did 9 hours in a straight line.
Whoa.
Because I'm worn out. This week has not been easy. Oh. And I gotta head out to a con in like 15 minutes. Waking up for 15 minutes, and then we gotta head back up.
Okay. I'll turn that off.
I'm so happy to be old and retired.
I'm so happy to be retired.
The only thing that
I'm still happy to be drawing breath.
Hey, I never thought I'd see this age, so I don't care. Who knows how old I am?
Oh, really? I thought the world would have ended long before now.
Ooh, which one is that?
The Article 22 DS SD something like that. My dyslexia is scrambling it, but yes, my toy. I finally found the damn cables for it.
Ah.
I hate that. I got to play with it for a couple of days, and then the move. I'd packaged the cables separately to make sure that I had all that stuff together. And because other people were touching my stuff and putting stuff on shelves, it took me a month and a half to figure out where the hell they were. And of course, they were on a low shelf on top of something, so I didn't see them.
I had the same problem with the pen for my pen display. Couldn't find it for months. And the reason why is because there's two drawers that are made of fabric in my art desk. And the people that, help me move everything around, move in looser stuff, thought it was part of the God, or a clothing closet in the bedroom. So it was there for 3 months. Couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it. So I ordered a new one. 2 days later,
You find it.
As
look
you
what I
do.
found.
I was half a heartbeat away because really the only thing that I'm really persnickety on as far as that goes is to make sure that I have the proper AC for it, AC cord, because I don't want to put too much power through it and blow it out.
Yeah,
Um,
that's very important.
so HDMI and a USB cable, those can be swapped out from anywhere. I have 2 or 3 of each that are perfectly good replacements. It's just I want to make sure that I'm not going to nuke it. So I had Nick take a picture of the bottom of the brick, so that if I had to go out and find it, I could try to find it. Because when I contacted them, they're like, "Yeah, for $50, we'll send you a new one from China."
Yeah, no.
I can probably find one for 20 or 30
Amazon
here. Yeah, we'll, without the shipping, So, and then I was half a heartbeat. I'm like, you know what? Let me look one last time. And of course, I'm like, let's see if there's anything on top of these boxes on this bottom shelf. Son of a bitch, here it is. I'm like, but hey, at least I found it before I hit buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of new things,
Yeah.
Yes.
this came in Friday. Right in time for the con. Oh, man. I ordered September 20th. October 2nd, I received, hey, you have a delay in your printing.
Oh.
It happens. October 7th, I called them going, okay, this was 5 days ago. Where the fuck are my books? And they're like, oh, they have been sitting still for way too long. We're really sorry. I'm going to put a priority on this. So, fine. You know what? Cool. And he's like, yeah, either they're going to be shipped out tonight, because it's a very low amount of books, so, the machine should be able to do that very quickly, or they're going to be tomorrow. Cool, I need them. That was Monday, and I need them on Wednesday. I call Tuesday. There has been a mistake. We are doing a rerun. We folded them incorrectly. I'm like, so you made a landscape out of a portrait? And he said, yes. I told him, I need them tomorrow, technically. if I don't have them by Friday, I'm going to cancel my order. Oh. Sir, I cannot promise you they will be there on Friday because I'm going to lose my job. But I'm going to try and see what I can do. Thursday, 9 p.m., I get your books are on your way. God.
There goes a night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So DHL decides to come along the moment that I have to drop off loose because we couldn't find a babysitter for Aurora for the weekend. To the train so she can go to my mother-in-law, her mom. And I'm like, hey mom, like my own mom, can you check on the house for a bit? Like DHL should come around between 12 and 2. Yeah, sure, but I have to leave at 1:30 because I have to go to the hospital and talk to myself. I'm like, you know what? That's half an hour that DHL could come in. They come along 5 minutes to 2 eventually while I'm well back home. Don't have to worry for anything. But it's DHL. If I'm not here to check if they actually come along with the truck, because they will not ring the bell. They will just drive off, going, there was nobody there. And then I have to pick it up 25 kilometers that way at the depot. Because they don't even send it to a pickup point. And I hate that they use that one. On the other hand, it's the cheapest, so I kind of get it.
Yeah, we have a UPS driver who likes to just get out of his car or get out of his truck, put the sticker on the thing, and leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can guarantee you that he did not, because I have 2, small barking dogs. And at that point in time, something outside had set off my dogs, and they could hear them through the telephone. I'm like, as you could hear right now, that if there was a mouse farting on the other side of that door, they would raise a ruckus. And now that we've changed to a downstairs apartment, it's a hell of a lot easier because right on the other side of this wall right here, which is an exterior wall, that wall right there, which is an exterior wall, is the front door, so that I could actually lower my laptop, and if I've got the blinds high enough, see people walking up the walkway. And I'm like, yeah, that person's not here yet. I don't know what they told you. Because when we were expecting Bucky's ashes, it was delayed. It was delayed. I had to take Crow out to physical therapy, I think it was. And I'm like, looks like we're not collecting them today, but we ended up getting an email saying that it was going to be delayed and what have you. And I'm like, great, we're going to have to go pick it up somewhere. No, I guess something happened on that guy's route, and he just didn't have time to deliver packages from X point on. So the very next day, I lucked out. He came to the door. He was being very gentle with the box. The box actually has a huge sticker on it saying, remains of a friend or something like that to show that
it's important.
It was once a living creature, handled with care. And the guy was just, my condolences, just real nice. And I'm like, all right, that makes up for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that. I had to go pick it up from our closest pickup point, which isn't that far away. It's a UPS store that's 5 minutes that way. And most of that 5 minutes is getting into the car and getting out of the parking lot of the apartment complex.
Our stuff starts out with UPS, and then it's delivered to the post office here in Danville, which is okay. But
UPS Smart Post. I hate that.
we have a postman, and you have to reach across our ring doorbell in order to get to the mailbox,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows how to do it without setting it off.
They're a ninja or fae
Well, he's
or
also very
vampire with a lot of sunscreen.
well. The man's like 2,000 years old anyway. We think it's because he's so old and moves so slow that it's not setting off the motion thing.
He's not moving, so it doesn't set off the motion detector.
It's probably the Pharaoh's curse that he's under.
But we can tell when he's not working because whoever's delivering that day, the ring goes off. Yeah, he hasn't taught that one how to do it yet.
Oh God, I have to hop. I don't feel like doing this con. I was very, very annoyed yesterday because I saw comics, so I need to be able to do my talk. My stand was literally across the stage. It is an indoor festival. And they decided at some point to really crank up volume. So Luz has fabric bookmarks that she's making and selling, and they're doing very good. And those were selling, and they pretty much made all the profit yesterday. I need to be able to talk. I literally had customers going for €75 items walk off because the music started again. So I went to the organization came by and went, I'm really sorry. Like someone called that the music was way too loud, And I was like, yeah, it was. Like, I get that there's stands that don't care too much. Like most people around me have things that you can just grab, stickers and little trinkets and stuff like that. You grab it, you buy it, done. But if you need to be able to talk, like I am, you're not going to sell anything. So I had a huge loss on my books. And a few minutes later, they came back around with earplugs for everybody. And I went, I'm sorry. Can I go to the other hall? Because that is insane. I am losing money because of this. They were like, you know what? We actually have someone in sick. If you want to switch, this is the time. And I was like, yes. So I got to leave in a few minutes. I got to completely move my setup, which I already cleared out yesterday. And then we have to start at noon for some reason. This was an event that decided that noon was a great starting point.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm. We're just going to have fun. I had great
Even on Sundays, when a lot of the cons and festivals around us are starting to wrap up so people can GTFO and enjoy the rest of the weekend so that they can be refreshed for work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no. Here it's usually from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But these guys are trying to be a festival and not so much a convention.
Ah.
And I'm okay with that. We did one in January by the same organization, and it was fun. It has a really nice mood because it's very dark, and all the stalls are actual market stalls, and they got lines of lights hanging above you. It's very moody. It's very it creates an atmosphere that is perfect for fantasy festivals.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of uh, creators there use it to their advantage, like put up fairy lights and stuff like that. Um, but there, the podium was away from from the entire market. Here they had about a quarter of the market stalls in one hall with the stage, and three quarters in another big hall. But yeah, the moment the music started, either people didn't come to this that the hallway, the hall that I was in, or they went there because they wanted to see the band play. Like there was no interaction the moment the music started.
Yeah, grab and go stuff is perfect to be placed around something like that, but any art, any stories, comics, things like that need to be away from that because more communication is involved. Oh, that looks cool. What is that? You know, someone wants to know more about it versus, oh, hey, that's a cool pen. Yoink.
Yeah.
And go,
And that's what Loser Bookmarks did. Like we sold 11 of them, and then they sold great, and like very like she has got a really nice variety, and like they did great. But like yeah, I was going to the toilet, came back, and my neighbor was talking for me and keeping the person at the stall, and this guy was like, "Dude, this looks amazing. What is Cora?" I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my spiel. And he was like, "Oh, that is awesome. And what is that?" And I had one of the sketch cover volumes up front. And I was like, "That is a volume. You get 5 complete stories with original piece of art in the front and extras in the back." He was like, "Can I like? You have others that don't have this one, and you can create new." And I was like, "Yeah, no, like I can do this on request." Awesome. And then the music started. He went, "This is too busy for me," and he left. 75 euros right down the drain.
Yeah.
I was very pissed. Like if you read the WhatsApp messages between Luce and I yesterday, you can see I was a grumpy motherfucker. I was beyond pissed. And I didn't want to be there.
I can just see with the Wile E. Coyote signs just holding things up for canned responses.
Yeah, no, like literally, like my neighbor and I were literally going, we should make up silent movie signs, like the black with the white outline. Oh, it was so annoying.
I imagine so.
I really have to head out because I'm gonna be able in time and get there in time.
It's time to say, time to say goodnight, Gracie. Anyway.
Yep.
Yep. You have good luck at the con. Hopefully things will go better.
We're gonna see. I'm just gonna do my best.
Well, for actors, they say break a leg, so I guess for artists, it would be break a pen.
Wouldn't be the first time, but I'd rather not. They're expensive.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if you're gonna break a pen, let it be like the cheap 2-cent Bic pen or something like that.
No,
break a pencil.
I usually
you get those by the dozen.
Nibs. So for my dip pen, like the holes here are just too big for the back, so they usually fall out and then they break when they fall on the floor. So I usually break nibs all the time, which are not that expensive, luckily, but they do take 3 weeks to come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can get those at the corner gas station.
No.
buy them in bulk, and by the time you're about half-mast, it's like, all right, it's time to order more.
Yeah, I think I got about 60 somewhere. I had
And then
100 2 years ago. Like they go that fast.
Mm.
and then you lose the shipment that just came in, and you're like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
And look on top of that low shelf where you don't normally look for things.
No. I just have a pile of desk because I'm like it pisses loose off that I am so disorganized on my desk, and I'm like, this is my stuff. You don't touch my stuff. I had one ex completely clean out my desk at some point,
Ooh.
and I was like, I'm gonna take a walk, and you're gonna put stuff back where it came from because I have no idea where things are, and there were three projects on this desk that I was actively working on.
Misty gets upset at my maelstrom as well. I'm like, all my filth is in alphabetical order. This, for instance, was under H for toy. Bonus points if you get the movie quote. But yeah, so it's a constrained chaos. I'm like, all right, I know if I'm looking for something, it should be in this general direction.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
Lindsay came back here one day last week. She goes, I need, and she named a specific tool. And I stood up, I walked over to one of the tables, I pulled something out from under a pile of other stuff. I go, here you go. She goes,
Yeah.
I'm glad you know where this stuff is. And I go, that's why I never cleaned anything. I know
See,
where everything is. It's just under a pile of other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Man, this is
understand people who clean up other people's things. Of course, then I'm lazy and I don't clean up my own, but I don't understand that.
I mean, I kind of get it. Like Luce did the God, I really have to leave, but whatever. Luce cleared out the storage that we have downstairs, and I get it because it was a mess. And she made a lot more space.
But now
But
you can't find anything.
yesterday, I forgot the banners. I forgot the green satin standard for the big banner that I have for fairies and ants. What else did I forget? I nearly forgot the plastic bags that I have, to give along to people. I nearly forgot so many things because they're not in the place that I expect them anymore.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right, I gotta hop. Take care, guys,
Have a
and
good
we'll
day.
see you hopefully next week or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week I'll have Aurora again.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Last week before Hallowcon.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that's still on our list to be at.
Oh, you'll have fun.
Next week we are going to a surprise hotel. So 3 days before the hotel chain is going to tell us where we're going to be having an overnight. So we're going to see.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And if it's like we got very far away family, further than my mother-in-law. Um, so if it's around there, 'cause that's the that's the direction that we set as a preference. We're probably going to have the entire weekend there. So
Nice.
we'll see. Take care, guys.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Good sales.
Yeah, there's an entire box of leftover inventory from last year's Hallowcon that I have not been able to add to the Square card reader inventory because I don't know where Lindsay put that, and I don't know how many of anything there is in that particular box. I know how many is in the box that I've got in here. It doesn't matter. There's a chainsaw sitting on top of it. I know how many is in it. But no, the how many did I have left from last year? I don't know. Um,
I don't understand women who do that. I don't understand women who go into their husband's closet and throw out their clothes.
Oh, thankfully, Misty doesn't do that. I mean, I still have shirts that are older than the entire time I've known Misty. Um, but hell, it's Monday. I decided, you know what? Maybe I should try to figure out where the hell my clothes are that I need to wear out in public, because I don't think the office would look too kindly on me showing up in a Deadpool t-shirt and sweatpants.
Oh, why not?
Well,
And
that's like Carl's like, well, that's a nice. This shirt I have on. He says that's a nice shirt. Have I seen that before? And I'm like, no, because I used to go out to the bars in this shirt before I even knew you. Yeah.
so I had to run around to find a belt because my belt was not with my pants. And of course, I get there and the store's closed. I'm like, the website says it's supposed to be open till 8. It's only 7 and change. I look at another website. They're only open to 6. You know, I wish people would have it set up so that you click on a link and it takes them to one repository for where their hours were. Because that's what happened with the game store when my grandson was over. We were going to go on a Sunday. They used to be open on a Sunday. They're no longer open on Sundays. But fun. So I had to settle for suspenders from Walmart and then order a belt from Amazon.
Oh, shall we say goodnight, boys?
good night,
we will.
and everybody, you can find us on NDCD. That's the easiest place to find all of us.
Yeah.
ndcd.org.
Yes.
Because it's so much fun, it has to be an ORG.
And even though we are available in other places, it'd take too long to list them all. And it
And
is
NDCD
now,
already has it listed for all for us.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a job for
everywhere you can find us, it's there.
Yeah.
That is the reason ndcd.org exists, to list these things. And Joe Bachman is a miracle worker. I can tell you that right now. Well, good night, everybody. And we will see you, hopefully, all through the week in the chats of other people's shows, and Thursday, and Friday night in the green room, and Saturday. And then we may all be on the road for LibertyCon, except for Thesis, who lives somewhere on a different planet. Here in
Might as
time.
well be.
Hallowcon, you said LibertyCon.
Oh, I did say LibertyCon. Yes, I meant Hallowcon. Thank you. It was so dark. There were so many.
Hopefully, I'm not still on the road by the time 7 o'clock and Last Man Standing's time slot on that Thursday rolls around. That'll be a very long day.
Really. Well, oh yeah, I'm already on the right screen.
It's late or early or yes.
Something.
It's entirely too early. Go good, guys.
Bye, all.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Aphelion Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.